Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We're bringing today's budget hearing for education and economic development to order. We're going to reverse the order of the agenda that you might have available to you and begin with the Maryland Public Broadcasting Commission. And we'll begin first with the budget analyst presentation from Samuel Quist. Did I pronounce your last name correctly?
Yes.
Okay, great.
All right, thank you, and good afternoon, members of the subcommittee. This is the DLS analysis of the budget for the Maryland Public Broadcast. Maryland Public Broadcasting Commission, which oversees Maryland Public Television. The FY 2024 budget totals $37 million, which is a decrease of approximately $200,000 from the FY 23 working appropriation, which is due to changes in reimbursable funds from agreements with other agencies. If you look at other fund sources outside of reimbursable funding, funding is increasing in all other areas besides reimbursable funds. Turning to the overview of agency spending on page 2, this is showing that a little over half of the budget, about 52%, is for personnel expenses. These support 145 regular positions and 15.7 contractual full-time equivalents. The remainder of the budget for Maryland Public Television operations includes the largest category is for contractual services, including contracts relating to television production and broadcasting costs. These are about 26% of the budget, and then the other large category is for PBS dues and other subscriptions and licenses at about 12% of the budget. Turning to the chart on pages 3 and 4, which is showing more of the details for the changes in the budget. Again, the overall decrease is about $200,000. The largest change overall is driving the overall change is a decrease of about $2.2 million in reimbursable funds, and this is related to a MOU with MSDE for development of online courses and educational materials. There was federal funding available to MSDE for this grant through federal stimulus legislation, and they entered into an agreement with MPT to produce some of these materials. That MOU ended on September 30th, 2022, and so the funding concludes for that in FY23. Also in the reimbursable fund category, the largest increase contains a net of about $940,000 for advertising contracts with other state agencies. This takes into account both increases in FY 2024 as well as some one-time funding in FY 23 that does not continue, including funds for the Maryland Department of Health through a budget amendment in FY 23, as well as a deficiency appropriation with the Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services. I'd also point out that there is a $147,000 increase for contractual personnel. This is reflected by the addition of 3 contractual FTE positions. And lastly, within the personnel category for regular personnel, there's an increase of about $812,000 for those personnel expenses. To page number 5, this is showing the summary of personnel data. The main thing I'd point out here is, again, the increase of 3 contractual full-time equivalents. Outside of that, there is no change in the authorized number of positions. In the key observations section, the first chart I'll point out on page 6, this is showing total Maryland Public Television membership and membership contributions. As you can see, there was a slight decrease in total number of members in FY22. However, the total number of membership contributions increased to about 8.2 million and has been increasing for 3 consecutive years now. This is important to point out because member contributions are one of the largest special fund source categories in the budget. The other two charts on pages 7 and 8 are showing the first, on page 7, the number of original programs produced, which is increased in FY22 following decreases the previous years related to some pandemic interruptions. In FY22, there were a total of 225 original programs produced. Exhibit number 5 on the next page is showing the total estimated viewership, which has fluctuated in recent fiscal years, but in FY22 was estimated at about 1.2 million in the Baltimore and Washington, D.C. region. Then lastly, on page number 9 are the DLS recommendations. The only recommendation DLS is making is to concur with the governor's allowance for funding. The last thing I would point out is that the final pages of the analysis, they also include a summary of the details regarding the opening of the new MPT production studio at their headquarters. And then there's a summary of a report that the Department of Information Technology submitted in coordination with MPT about resource sharing agreements for MPT towers. That issue will be covered more in depth in the Department of Information Technology analysis and that budget hearing. But I'll conclude there, and I can take any questions.
Thank you so much for that overview. Greatly appreciate the work. Any questions from the members? Seeing none, thank you so much for your time. I believe Stephen Shupak will be here with Public Television. And Mr. Unger, I see you there. They'll bring your team accordingly.
Thank you.
Great to see you again.
You too.
And I apologize if I do have to leave a little early. I just have a bill hearing, but I will be here as long as I can.
Oh,
I just might have to step up, but you're going to be in the very capable hands of my Vice Chair Solomon, so you know that. Great to see you today.
Thank you. You ready for me?
Always.
All right. Well, good afternoon, and thank you all for allowing us this time to speak about MPT and for all the support that you've provided for many years, allowing us to bring valued content to the citizens of Maryland and beyond. With me today are Stephen Shupak, our Chief Operating Officer, Suzanne Schwartman, our Chief Financial Officer, and Travis Mitchell, MPT's Chief Content Officer. This past year has been a very good one for MPT in many ways. It was the year of the Tubman Douglas films, and we're very proud that we were able to bring these two really amazing Maryland stories to the nation. And when I say the nation, more than 2 million people have already seen these films, and they're playing again all over the country on public television stations for Black History Month. I could go on and on, but I know you're all very busy about the accomplishments this year. But as usual, we have a video that describes them better than I could. In fact, we have 2 videos today to share with you. The first is our usual MPT review of the past year. And the second is an idea that I wanted to share with you about creating a center for Maryland history films. So with that, Rob, can you run the first video?
Since 1969, Maryland Public Television has enthusiastically celebrated the state's many resources, from its stunning natural landscapes and bustling industry to its time-honored culture and thriving art scene. But our state's greatest resource may be its remarkable history and the people who call Maryland home.
In 2022, MPT paid tribute to 2 of Maryland's most historically notable residents, Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass, with a pair of groundbreaking national PBS documentaries, an interactive education series for K-12 students, and an extensive social media outreach campaign.
It's national history for the 2 of them, but it's also Maryland history. I've been talking to MPT about this for a couple of years now, and I'm very excited to see it come to fruition. And it's not just something that Maryland people will watch. It'll be picked up by public television across the country, and everybody gets to share in it.
Harriet Tubman, Visions of Freedom, explores the extraordinary life and legacy of America's most famous conductor of the Underground Railroad. While Becoming Frederick Douglass follows the breathtaking journey of a young man who escaped slavery to become a world-renowned public speaker and abolitionist.
I was a graduate from this peculiar institution with my diploma written on my back.
In addition to the two documentaries, MPT's Education Division created a companion website and associated curriculum for students, educators, and homeschoolers.
MPT is the perfect vehicle to tell the stories of Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass because we are the voice of Maryland as the only public broadcaster in the state.
And MPT's development team organized screenings across the country and other public events with the aim of prompting community dialogue.
We had a lot of positive feedback about the films, and people were very surprised that truth was actually more remarkable than fiction.
I have to say how indebted I am to the legislature and to the governor for providing the funding so that MPT could make two great Maryland stories. I firmly believe that a big part of the reason that MPT exists is so that we can tell Maryland stories, and there are just so many. I hope that we'll be making even more in the future.
Capturing 7 regional Emmy Awards in 2022, MPT brings you 4 great broadcast channels, seamless streaming, live and on demand, made for mobile content, and exclusive in-depth interviews on The Dig. With our highly popular digital studios, MPT continues to cover the state's most pressing issues through its local news and public affairs programs, including Direct Connection and State Circle.
One of the things MPT I think does the best is it provides consistent coverage of the real issues going on. There's not a lot of interview requests for the large networks that come down and really analyze the Maryland General Assembly, but MPT does an excellent job. If people are interested, the information is there and is accessible through your organization.
We're just about 30 minutes or so away from the kickoff.
And the MPT Sports Desk is a slam dunk when it comes to covering local sports, including the CIAA tournament in Baltimore, collegiate football games, the Maryland 5-Star, and the state's all-new world-class event, the Maryland Cycling Classic. Local favorites including Artworks, Outdoors Maryland, and Maryland Farm and Harvest, which celebrated its 10th anniversary last November, showcase the state's incredible beauty, innovation, and pride. And popular national series such as Motor Week, To Dine For with Kate Sullivan, and My Greek Table leave viewers hungry for more.
There is a lot going on here.
While specialty programming, including Chesapeake Bay Week and HBCU Week, help create awareness and appreciation of Maryland's diverse communities.
2022 marked the completion of the 8,400 square foot Irene and Edward H. Kaplan production studio, with theater seating capacity of up to 148 guests. The studio will be used for local and national MPT productions, in addition to televised public affairs programs and regional concerts and performances. MPT exceeded expectations through its Maryland State Ad Agency by amplifying the most critical messages of our time, including COVID masking, vaccination, rent assistance, dangers of fentanyl, problem gambling, and more.
Who's ready?
And serves a vital role for students and educators with professional development support and a wide range of hands-on activities, supplemental learning tools, and online programs through MPT's ThinkPort and Ready to Learn. No one does local like MPT, but the great programming doesn't end there. Here's the best of primetime PBS.
Fasten your seatbelt.
You're taking my breath away.
What is your sense now of the humanitarian situation? This is making me emotional.
MPT. Be informed. Be entertained. Be inspired.
With your permission, Madam Chair, we have one more shorter video.
We love the videos. It's fine.
Thank you. Well, there could be a technical issue here.
There's so much that can be told and so much worth that can be had by telling local stories. Wow. But also understand that there's a story that has resonance for people beyond that locality.
That arc of a life, it means that anything is possible.
Educators look to us for high quality, standards aligned content to share in their classroom and to engage students in learning.
Since 1969, MPT has been producing award-winning historical documentaries. The Center for Maryland History Films would be able to continue this long tradition, sharing the local stories of the people, places, and events for generations to come. With support, a few of the projects could include people such as Thurgood Marshall, the first African-American to serve on the nation's highest court, tracing his childhood, achievements, challenges, and legacy. Benjamin Latrobe, credited as the father of American architecture, whose work dots the U.S. landscape, and who, with his architect and engineer sons and grandsons, created bridges, buildings, and parks in Maryland and elsewhere. Benjamin Banneker, a successful almanac maker and self-taught student of mathematics and astronomy. From the mountains in the west to the bay and beyond, we hope to explore the state's historical landscape, detailing the construction of the Maryland State House, how it has changed over the years, its distinction as the site of George Washington's resigning his commission, and the only state house to have served as the nation's capital. At Sparrows Point, there are the personal recollections of the men and women who toiled at the Bethlehem Steel Complex. At the Castleman River Bridge, we could share the history of the longest single-span arch bridge on the historic National Road. We could document the events that not only shaped our state, but played a significant role beyond our borders. In 1787, the Treaty of Paris was ratified by Congress, while it met in the Maryland State House. The treaty established the United States as a free and independent nation. Exploring the Mason-Dixon line can reveal the legacy of Maryland from pre-Civil War times to the present in relation to its identification as a northern or southern state. The Great Baltimore Fire raged for 2 days. With funding, we would be able to share how this tragic event played a part in setting national standards for firefighting. Looking forward to the future, inspired by our past, creating thought-provoking and engaging content. MPT's work stimulates understanding, education, and civic engagement, and showcases Maryland's place in U.S. history. Your support will enable this storytelling. To learn more, visit mpt.org/MDHistoryFilms.
That concludes my remarks. I'd be happy to respond to any questions. And once again, I'd like to thank this committee and the legislature for all their support.
Are there any questions from anyone? I just want to say thank you for always providing those exciting videos. Just last night, I was telling the vice chair I fell asleep watching MPT. I woke up to an unusual exercise program as well. I think it's working out while seated. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I didn't know that. I'd forgotten about that woman. She was doing some type of foot exercise while seated this morning. But nonetheless, thank you for the programming. Thank you for all of the work that you're doing, bringing Maryland stories not just to our attention, but to the country and the world's attention. You're to be commended. And thank you for your time today. We really appreciate everything that you do for us.
Great. Thank you again.
So there's a lot of folks here, and I think they're here for the second bill budget hearing. And so we're going to move on to hear the budget for the Department of Commerce. But before that, we'll hear from analyst Emily Haskell. Great to see you today.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, my name is Emily Haskell, and I'll be presenting the budget analysis for the Department of Commerce. In the budget summary on page 1, you can see Commerce's fiscal 2024 budget decreases by about 34% to $243 million. This decrease of over more than $100 million is due to one-time funds provided in fiscal 2023. That includes both general funds as well as special funds that were provided through the dedicated purpose account. And that included $50 million for the rural regional councils, $40 million in supplemental funding for the arts, and $10 million for tourism. This large decrease is partially offset by a new $10 million that's contingent on the Innovation Economy Infrastructure Act, which would establish the Build Our Future grant program in Commerce to provide grants of up to $2 million for infrastructure projects that support the development of advanced technology industries. Skipping ahead a little to page 5, I'll talk briefly about funds that were restricted in the fiscal 2023 budget bill. Funds are restricted in the Maryland Tourism Development Board for various grants. Several of those funds have been released, but the funding for Prince George's Financial Services Corporation and Employed Prince George's has not, and DLS has asked the department to comment on whether these funds are expected to be released. Turning to page 9, I'll talk about the Sunny Day Fund. The fiscal 2024 allowance includes $2 million in special funds for the first installment of a proposed Sunny Day Fund award. The total award will be $6 million to the glove manufacturer United Safety Technology. The $6 million will be divided into 3 installments in fiscal 2024, 26, and 28. United Safety Technology is expanding its operations at Trade Point Atlantic, and the project is expected to create more than 1,800 jobs by December 2027. The funding for the Sunny Day Award is provided through MEDAF, that's the Maryland Economic Development Assistance Authority and Fund. And the funding is being provided through MEDAF rather than through the typical Sunny Day Fund because of fund balance that's accumulated in MEDAF. So usually Sunny Day Awards will be made through the Sunny Day Fund, which statute requires approval by the Legislative Policy Committee. And so DLS has recommended, since the funding is going through MEDAF instead, that language be added to the bill requiring notification to LPC prior to the distribution of funds. Also on the bottom of page 9 and moving on to page 10, the American Rescue Plan Act provided federal funds for a new round of the State Small Business Credit Initiative Program, or SSBCI. The SSBCI funds state programs that expand access to capital for small and underserved businesses. Overall, Maryland's allocation of SSBCI funds totals nearly $200 million, and the funds are being managed by the Department of Housing and Community Development. DHCD has allocated about a quarter of the overall funds, a little just under that, $45 million to the Department of Commerce, which will be deployed through the Maryland Small Business Development Financing Authority. Funding for SSBCI is coming to Maryland across 3 tranches, and funds are expected to be expended across fiscal 2023 to about fiscal 2028. In Commerce, the fiscal 2023 budget includes $14 million, and $7 million is included in the allowance. However, Ms. Bidva has approved only 1 transaction so far, totaling $300,000, and so DLS has asked the department to comment on the expected pace of using these funds going forward. Next, I'll turn to page 12 to talk about the first issue in the analysis. It relates to the More Jobs for Marylanders program, which provides an income tax credit for businesses that create a minimum number of jobs. Generally, businesses need to be in the manufacturing industry or located in an opportunity zone in the state. And the credit provides 10 years of benefits generally. Chapter 136 of 2022 extended the program for an additional 2 years, so Commerce can enroll projects in the program through May 2024. Exhibit 4 on page 13 shows additional modifications made to the program by Chapter 136 that apply to businesses that enroll in the program after June 2022. And these changes include reducing the value of the income tax credit, increasing the minimum number of required jobs, and also reducing the duration to 5 years from 10 years for businesses that are located in Tier 2 areas of the state. Exhibit 5 on page 14 shows the program activity to date. In total, 41 businesses have claimed $20.7 million in income tax credits since the program's inception. This chart shows the progression of how companies have been moving through the program and claiming multiple years of benefits. Large projects account for the majority of credits claimed. 4 companies account for nearly half of the year 1 credits. And Northrop Grumman accounts for nearly 65% of the total credits claimed so far. And the project has reserved a further $10 million for its 4th benefit year. Program activity is expected to continue to grow. Exhibit 6 on page 16 shows estimates of the growth over time. And this growth is pretty steep for a couple reasons. One, a large number of enrollments occurred just before the June 2022 deadline for the program modifications. So there's expected to be an increase in fiscal 2024 as those new enrollments claim their first credits. And also, projects tend to grow significantly between benefit years, and that's really what's driving this large increase over time. In terms of program funding, the fiscal 2024 allowance includes $34 million in general funds for more jobs for Marylanders, which is an increase of 13% over fiscal 2023. Overall, in the first 5 years of the program, from fiscal 2019 through 2023, about $60 million of funds have been appropriated, whereas in the next 5 years, from fiscal 24 through 28, it's expected that appropriations exceeding $300 million will be needed. Exhibit 7 on page 17 shows appropriations to date, as well as the balance of unencumbered funds at the end of each fiscal year. You'll see that fiscal 2024 shows a negative balance at the end of the year, and that's because based on the department's estimates of program activity, the fiscal 2024 allowance falls short of the program demand by about $7 million. However, these estimates really represent the maximum amount that may be expected to be claimed in the year for a couple of reasons. One, companies may claim less than the full amount authorized in the initial certificate, and also not all of the funds may be claimed in fiscal 2024. It could be in a future year. So it's likely that the proposed appropriation will be sufficient to cover the actual amount of initial tax credit certificates requested. However, if it's not sufficient, Commerce regulations establish a priority order, prioritizing companies in Tier 1 areas, as well as companies that have claimed credits in the immediately preceding fiscal year. Next, I'll move on to issue 2 on page 18. This relates to the Small Minority and Women-Owned Businesses account, or SMOBA. SMOBA receives most of its funding through video lottery terminal revenues, including $20 million expected from VLT revenues annually, beginning in fiscal 2024. However, in Exhibit 8 on page 19, you'll see that transactions under the program have averaged only about $11 million annually over the last several years. So the revenues significantly exceed the annual actual program activity. A couple things you'll see in the chart. There are some spikes in revenue in fiscal 21 and 23. Fiscal 2021 includes $10 million in federal funds from the American Rescue Plan that were provided through the Relief Act. And fiscal 2023 includes $4 million in one-time funds that were provided to support fund manager operating costs. You also see in fiscal 2018 through 2020 there were no VLT revenues for the program, and that's because the revenues were diverted to the general fund and to the Education Trust Fund in those years. In Exhibit 10 on page 21, you can see that SMOBA fund managers still have nearly $50 million available. This is due in part to the revenues exceeding transactions in the past few years, as I mentioned, but also due to the availability of funds from repayments, which fund managers can use to make new loans under the program. You can also see some fund managers still have quite a bit of funding available from their fiscal 2016 awards. Exhibit 11 on page 22 shows that lending to minority and women-owned businesses varies by fund manager. Overall, 28% of funding over the last 5 years went to minority-owned businesses and 39% to women-owned businesses. Nearly 30% of funding was distributed to businesses that are not minority, women, or veteran-owned. A couple fund managers provided more than 85% of their funds under the program to minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses, while several others provided less than 65%. Exhibit 12 on page 23 shows that while fund managers can make loans anywhere in the state, they tend to lend most of their funds in their home jurisdictions. Adding new fund managers is one way to potentially increase program activity, and Commerce did add a new manager in Montgomery County in fiscal 2022. DLS has asked the department to comment on efforts to add additional fund managers or otherwise increase program activity under SMWOBA. Finally, page 25 shows the recommended language that would require notification to LPC prior to the distribution of sunny day funds. And that concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much, Ms. Haskell, for that great overview. Any questions from the members? Seeing none, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Happy to welcome Secretary Anderson and team forward. Great to see you.
See you. Good afternoon, Chair Smith and Vice Chair Solomon and subcommittee members. For the record, my name is Kevin Anderson and I'm the Acting Secretary of Commerce. I'm here to offer testimony in support of Commerce's proposed FY 2024 budget. I'd like to thank Emily Haskell, our DLS analyst, for her thoughtful and thorough analysis. While I've only been Secretary for a few weeks, they have been very busy weeks. I've been working very hard to get to know the department and the Commerce team and to get to know many members of the General Assembly. I'll be providing a brief overview of this year's budget proposal. I'm joined today by several members of the Commerce team, Deputy Secretary Signa Pringle and Assistant Secretary Heather Graham and Assistant Secretary Tom Reifert, and they'll be able to help any questions you may have. Commerce's proposed fiscal 2024 operating budget totals $242.8 million and supports 186 permanent positions. This will allow the department to continue attracting and retaining businesses in Maryland, supporting small businesses, providing targeted support to grow strategic industry sectors, and supporting tourism and the arts. This includes $17.5 million for our Advantage Maryland, or MEDAF program, and this is our primary direct assistance program, our workhorse program, which supports major economic development projects such as new manufacturing facilities and corporate headquarters. This program is in high demand, in which these funds will allow Commerce to meet. There is $33.9 million in the budget for income tax reserve credits, more jobs for Marylanders. This program provides a tax credit for new jobs created by qualifying manufacturers as well as qualifying employers in federally designated opportunity zones. There's $12 million in the Biotechnology Investment Incentive Tax Credit, or BITC. This is another high-demand program, and it focuses on spurring investment in the life sciences, one of our key strategic industry sectors. We have $12.3 million for the Ms. Bidfa program, so we can continue providing essential financial assistance to small and minority-owned businesses across Maryland. There's also continued support for our small, minority, and women-owned businesses account, known informally as the VLT program, because it's funded by SLAP proceeds. Estimated proceeds this year are over $20 million. The budget also includes critical support for tourism and the arts, which fall under the broader umbrella of economic development, in part because they are great drivers of visitor spending. But they also support quality of life in our state. They show that Maryland is a fun place, a beautiful place, and a culturally rich and inspiring place. As we market the state to work and attract new businesses and investment, tourism and the arts are important ways of illustrating that Maryland is a great place to be. So this year's proposed budget includes $22 million in total funds for the Office of Tourism and Development and the Maryland Tourism Development Board, and $30.5 million to the Maryland State Arts Council. Finally, I want to note that the governor's budget proposal includes $10 million for the Build Our Future Grant Pilot Program Fund. This is a new program established in separate legislation this year, and which will provide funding for infrastructure projects that support innovation in a number of key industries. These include advanced manufacturing, aerospace, cybersecurity, the life sciences, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, robotics, and clean energy, among others. And before I conclude, I want to quickly address the DLS recommendations, as well as two items DLS asked Commerce to comment on. You have our complete responses in the attached in our written testimony. Regarding the Sunny Day funds, Commerce concurs with the recommendation to require notification to the Legislative Policy Committee prior to the distribution of funds. We have also responded regarding the pace of deployment of SSBCI funds through Ms. Bidfa. Meeting the federal requirements has been challenging, but we do expect those transactions to increase through the fall. Lastly, regarding SMOBA, an RFP that's been advertised and the department is seeking additional fund managers to deploy these funds. If possible, we hope to bring on at least 2 to 3 more fund managers. I want to end by echoing the words of Governor Moore, who has said that we have incredible assets in Maryland, but we have not had the most effective strategy in recent years. We're not seeing the job growth and the new investment we should be. This administration is focused on boosting Maryland's competitiveness, and Commerce's proposed budget allowance will support that effort. These funds will help Maryland leverage our great assets into meaningful economic growth so we can stand toe-to-toe with any other state in the country as an absolute great place to do business. We respectfully ask that you approve the governor's allowance as submitted. Thank you so much, and we'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much, Acting Secretary. Are there any questions from the members? Delegate Harris.
Appreciate it, Madam Chair. Good to see you again, Acting Secretary. Hopefully all is great.
Thank you.
I appreciate your report. I just wanted to make sure we have this on our radar about the restricted funds. And so it's stated that we're looking at funds that were not released as of yet for the Prince George's Financial Services Corporation and employed Prince George's. And so the goal was to get the funds expected to be released as soon as possible, or the reason why it's not going to be released. So is those funds released yet, or is there a reason why we're still holding to those funds?
Thank you for the question. The funds are not released yet by the governor. As soon as they are released, we'll be able to act on it. But right now, we don't have the anticipated date or reason why they have not released yet. Commerce cannot release them, so we'll have to wait for the governor.
Okay, got it. We'll follow up with that. Appreciate that.
Great.
Vice Chair Solomon.
Twice. There we go. It's good to see you again, and thank you again for coming out to Montgomery County on Friday. It was a great day to celebrate the work on the computing center. It's not what I have a question on. I know my colleagues are getting tired of hearing of that.
Good to see you as well. Thank you.
Just curious on the SMOBA piece. Obviously I know you're just coming into this, but curious if you have any thoughts. I mean, that's a large pot of money, and I think we've had multiple conversations in the subcommittee over the last couple of years. How do we get that program to a point where we're able to get the money to the communities and the businesses that really need it?
I'll give it a quick shot. I'll let my colleagues answer just the same. But I think we're going to concentrate a bit more on marketing and advertising and actually being a little more proactive. Obviously, there are competing issues maybe around distribution and delivery. But we're going to do our absolute level best to take a real hard look at it about how we can advance it faster.
Yeah, and as previously mentioned, we're looking to hire additional fund managers as well to support the argument the Secretary made. So
great. Yeah, I think we really want to get that money to the places that need it. I know that's a priority for the new administration. And I just have to say, I want to give a shout out to your staffer who I know is sitting there, Jen Lahat, who's been a great partner to work with, and really appreciate Commerce's engagement and really rapid distribution and setup of the grant program for the child care revolving loan, which we're really excited to see get out the door. So thank you to your whole team for that partnership.
I really appreciate that, Vice Chair Solomon. Thank you.
Thanks, Madam Chair.
Delegate Forbes.
Thank you, Secretary Anderson, and thank you for the analysis today. On the More Jobs for Marylanders income tax credits, it's clear that Northrop Grumman has found it, but what are we doing to encourage other companies to see what's available there?
Yeah.
That's a great question. Thank you so much for that. Our team has been proactively working, particularly in Tier 1 counties, to identify manufacturers that are currently in those Tier 1 counties, make sure that they're aware of that program, and seek out expansion opportunities that those companies may have. And of course, we're working very closely on our attraction efforts as we're working to bring new manufacturers into the state to market that program as well. So we have been very focused on ensuring manufacturers across the state, but particularly in Tier 1 counties, are aware of the program and can take advantage of it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Delegate. Any additional questions for the panel? Well, we're excited to work with you, not only just on legislation, but just thought partnership in general, because even with the best marketing plans, the execution always matters. So we want to make sure we get the people who need these funds to your professional staff. So thank you so much for your presentation.
Great. Thank you so much, Chair Smith. We'll be working hard at it.
Absolutely. It's the beginning of a beautiful relationship. I have no doubt. And so we have a robust list of witnesses that want to also weigh in on this budget. And so we'll begin. I'll ask for several folks to come at once. Can Lori Sales, Nicholas Cohen, and Carrie Snowden come up front if available? Oh, the same panel, Kayensha Daughtry. Oh, yeah, I think you might have to press it. And I just want to apologize in advance that I do have to leave shortly for a bill hearing, but you're in the capable hands, obviously, of Vice Chair.
Absolutely. Thank you, Madam Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, all the members of the committee. I do want to note, too, that behind me I have an awesome group of advocates from the Be More Youth Arts Advocacy Council. Also, one of them is joining me on the panel as well. They have been spending the entire day championing arts investment and arts education investment with different lawmakers, and they were on the House floor this morning. Thank you, Madam Chair, for that acknowledgement of them. So it's great to be here. My name is Nicholas Cohen. I'm the Executive Director of Maryland Citizens for the Arts. We're the nonprofit organization that serves as the statewide advocacy group for public investment in the arts. Through our advocacy, we represent the interests of over 300 arts organizations, 24 local arts councils, 27 arts and entertainment districts, and thousands of independent artists across Maryland. It really is an honor to work in a state that values and celebrates the arts sector's ability to attract and retain residents and businesses that contributed so much to Maryland's high quality of life. I want to thank the governor, his administration, the Secretary of Commerce, and the Maryland General Assembly for their continued support and belief in the incredible importance of a vibrant arts sector here in Maryland. I also want to acknowledge the incredible work of the Maryland State Arts Council and their staff. They've done incredible work working with our sector to help us survive the COVID-19 pandemic, because it's been very brutal on independent artists, on arts groups. It's just been very difficult, and their staff has done heroic work to really, really help our sector survive, frankly. So I thank them very much. But today I'm also here to provide a voice for our arts constituents, and I'd like to thank and I'd like to ask the committee to continue the trend of strong state investment in the arts. And to that end, we all, the arts community, respectfully ask the committee to fully fund the Maryland State Arts Council at the legally mandated FY24 arts appropriation of $30.5 million. The Maryland State Arts Council ensures that this appropriation reaches every corner of the state, and more importantly, it is distributed equitably through a rigorous and transparent granting process with an eye towards diversity and accountability. As you'll hear from my wonderful colleagues on this panel, this investment is a crucial piece of state support for the continued vibrancy of the arts here in Maryland. Again, I thank this committee for its time and continued support of the Maryland arts sector. Thank you.
Mr. Vice Chair and honorable members of the committee, my name is Kenesha Doherty. I'm the Executive Director of Creative Nomads. We are an arts nonprofit that provides access to unique and culturally centered arts experiences for youth and families, while also championing the artists behind the art with career-elevating resources. We are a small, Black-led, woman-led nonprofit that impacts at least 500 youth and their families each year, mainly in Baltimore. We also provide targeted resources to between 25 to 60 arts professionals each year. Black-led nonprofits receive 2% of the $60 billion in foundation funding across the country. Because of that challenge, I'm very appreciative to live in a state that values the arts and that has been working to bring equity to its funding of the arts. I too want to thank the governor, his administration, and the Maryland General Assembly for the continued support and belief in the incredible importance of a vibrant art sector here in Maryland. Today, I'm honored to provide a voice for the families and community members we engage daily throughout our work, and would like to ask that the committee continue its strong investment in the arts. To that end, we respectfully ask the committee to fully fund the Maryland States Arts Council at the legally mandated FY24 arts appropriation of $30.5 million. Creative Nomads has been able to provide families with both educational and fun programs at low to no cost, like our May the 4th Be With You Star Wars Family Arts Experience, Drumming with Dad, and our virtual Kwanzaa Family Paint, and the Creative Caroling Project, amongst other arts offerings that we fund with the assistance from the Maryland State Arts Council. I thank this committee for its time and the continued support of the Maryland arts sector. Thank you.
Honorable members of the committee, I'm Carrie Snowden. I'm a senior at Baltimore Design School and stand here before you as a member of Be More Youth Arts Advocacy Council, BIAC. We are a group of teenagers who work together to make art accessible for Baltimore City schools. To make this happen, we advocate for funding towards the arts and the organizations that help make it possible for us to have equitable access to the arts and cultural experiences inside and outside our schools. I'm here to give my testimony in support of full funding for Maryland State's Arts Council at $30.5 million. Art has saved me countless of times throughout my youth, whether from boredom or my demons. It allowed me to create a world filled with dreams and peace. When I was younger, I used art to express my struggles because I couldn't speak my feelings outwardly. I didn't believe my art could take me anywhere. I never saw or heard the success stories. I didn't want to be the stereotypical struggling artist. I experienced firsthand the powerful impact arts education can have on students' academic success. Personally, for me, growing up in a school with students whose mathematical talents was a priority, it made me feel overwhelmed and overlooked. I wasn't as talented in math as my peers. I still succeeded, but it was clear I wasn't spectacular. Art in starting my freshman year at Baltimore Design School allowed me to shine and be proud of my work. I love art and cannot imagine what my world would be like if I had not been able to pursue my passion for graphic design. I want to reiterate, being in school where the arts are a priority helped me plan for my future. By introducing arts to kids early can hush their doubts. There are plenty of kids like me who love art but cannot imagine a monetary future in it. Baltimore Design School showed me how to become an artist with a dream. I believe in my future because the graphic design field had never had a Carrie Snowden yet. We need art in our society, and we need to change the fruitless career views held by many parents, school leaders, legislators, and other adults in our community. Let the arts be uplifted instead of being overlooked and underappreciated. Funding for artists and the nonprofit organization that supports us are a necessity. That is why I'm asking you to do what is in your power to fully support the Maryland State's Arts Council. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair Smith, Vice Chair Solomon, and members of the subcommittee. I am Lori Sales, President and CEO of Civility Management Solutions and a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. I am here today to testify in support of the fiscal year 2024 budget request for the Department of Commerce. The Department of Commerce's budget currently provides support for nonprofits like the Montgomery County Chamber Foundation's Veterans Institute for Procurement, VIP program. The VIP program is the first free training program for service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses and Maryland veteran-owned small businesses. Veteran-owned company C-level executives receive comprehensive instruction on how to accelerate their federal government contracting business skills. Civility Management Solutions is a professional consulting firm that is located in Greenbelt, Maryland, within Prince George's County. We provide conference and facility logistics, program, project, and financial management, IT help desk, call center, and administrative support and human capital training. The growth of Civility MS has been through the socioeconomic statuses to include the earned service disabled veteran-owned status. This year, our company will be responding to the Department of Homeland Security SDVOSB process, and we will be joined by 2 other VIP graduates who have over 20 years of experience. I have graduated from the VIP program in January of 2019, and within the state of Maryland, I don't know of veteran-owned business who has not participated and received great value from VIP. The VIP training program has provided my company with several competitive advantages, the opportunity to accelerate growth and build relationships with prime contractors and government agencies, a network of 2,000 successful nationwide graduates, comprehensive training and instruction by subject matter experts providing best business practice strategies. I know that the VIP program adds significant value to the veteran business community and the Maryland economy. Why, you may ask? Well, as I travel both locally and nationally, I'll often meet other veteran entrepreneurs that speaks proudly of being a graduate of VIP. We ask that this subcommittee fully fund the Department of Commerce's budget request, which helps fund valuable programs like the VIP through its grant funding. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sales. I would be remiss in not giving Gigi Godwin from the Montgomery Chamber a shout out. I know how great that program is, and we're really proud of it in Montgomery County. And Ms. Snowden, thank you for your testimony. I think the future of arts in Baltimore and writ large are really strong. Appreciate you all being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And next up, I've got Ruth Toomey and Georgiana Winley. Ruth, it's nice to see you again.
Good afternoon, Vice Chair Solomon and the subcommittee members. My name is Ruth Toomey. I am the Executive Director for the Maryland Tourism Coalition. We are the trade association for all sectors of the tourism industry here in the state of Maryland. And MPT's not here, but thanks for providing the video for all of our great attractions here in the state of Maryland. They are also one of my members. Our members work together to promote, participate in professional development activities, and enhance our economic impact for benefit of all Marylanders. Together, as a tourism coalition, we strengthen our industry and positively affect our economy, which benefits all Marylanders. A fun fact: all Maryland households save I get nervous when I get up here with a small crowd. All Maryland households save $1,000 in their state taxes due to tourism. If tourism went away, we'd have more taxes to pay. Our members not only include restaurants, hotels, attractions, but all other professional associations, chambers, management companies, and many, many small businesses. We also have members who provide services to our industry, such as marketing, media, IT, landscaping, electric, and more. I am here representing those businesses today and the hundreds of thousands faces of tourism that rely on the spending of our visitors for their livelihood. Visitors have been invited to select Maryland as their travel destination, and that invitation comes in the form of advertising, and advertising costs money. And there are other states investing in advertising to invite people to their destinations that we are competing with. As a matter of fact, Maryland's tourism budget is smaller than 25 states, smaller than those in our immediate region. And with that, Virginia is $78 million, Pennsylvania is $3.1 million, West Virginia, which we're most compared to, is $25.4 million, and Maryland ourselves is $15.3 million. We are asking you to, while we would like to keep the, what has it been added to the budget of the 2.1, we'd also like an increase to be able to compete with our surrounding states. I was supposed to have another counterpart with me today, but unfortunately she was not able to meet me, so half of my testimony is not here. So I'll be happy to answer any questions. But on behalf of the Maryland Tourism Coalition, I do ask that you support the Commerce's budget, which includes the budget of the Maryland Tourism Development Board and the Office of Tourism. It is a sound investment. And there was a flyer that was sent out. Anybody who came to Tourism Day or got my flyer, there was a sound investment flyer that was included in your email, and I'm happy to send that back out again. So thank you for your time today, and please support our budget.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Vice Chair Solomon and subcommittee members. I'm Georgiana Winley. I'm the Executive Director of the Kent Nearest Development Foundation. We are a small redevelopment organization located on Maryland's Eastern Shore and in a region where the economy is highly, highly dependent on travel and tourism. I'm here today to support the Department of Commerce's budget, but especially tourism-related programs. And here's why. It's no secret that travel and tourism-dependent destinations and businesses have suffered in a disproportionate way due to travel restrictions, COVID and disaster relief slowdowns, workforce challenges, and supply chain disruptions. You've seen this all in the news all year for many years. And so today's destinations, businesses, and attractions that serve the traveling public are really faced with the difficult task of rebuilding their customer base in a highly, highly competitive marketplace, as you heard Ruth illustrate. Maryland's tourism-related investments lagged far behind those that serve to support businesses in our surrounding states, far behind. So by adequately funding the Maryland Office of Tourism Development, we will ensure that Maryland and destinations like ours, a small one, can continue to remain competitive in a rapidly changing global environment. And this is a global business, and it's very easy nowadays for business to go elsewhere, much, much different than it was in the past. So the tourism development programs help us to work successfully to increase travel spending and to improve the visitor experiences in Maryland and in destinations like ours. Their programs stimulate both small and larger businesses, and nonprofits like ours benefit directly and indirectly from their programs. Moreover, the office works with entities like ours and helps us to educate the public about the uniqueness of our places and our heritage. At Kent Narrows, several new tourism-dependent businesses that were under construction prior to the pandemic recently opened. This includes a 120-room hotel, new waterfront restaurant, and several other tourism-dependent businesses. This includes our seafood-related and charter and headboat businesses, which support local watermen and women. We rely heavily on our partnership with the Maryland Office of Tourism Development and with our county tourism offices that are funded through the Office of Tourism Development. In closing, I want to remind you that for every dollar spent on tourism, a lot comes back. Is it $31?
$31.
$31 comes back. So we ask that you look favorably upon this request and fund tourism development programs. Thank you.
Thank you both. And I was remiss on the last panel members. I'm sorry I didn't give folks an opportunity to ask questions, but any questions for this panel? Go ahead, Delegate Harris.
Appreciate it, Vice Chair. Thank you all for being here. Just quick questions, because obviously everything you all said makes sense. I just want more thoughts or more education on this. So where can you see us as a state going if that increase was in place and was to take place right now? What can you all do to boost that the marketing for the state?
So as Gigi said, for every dollar that is spent in marketing dollars, we're bringing $31 back to the state. So that is bringing more state dollars, tax dollars, back to the state. So it does create jobs. We are the 12th largest private sector employer. We also employ 176,000 direct and indirect jobs, so bringing back the job market. And it's just, I can't even put into words what it'll do for our state. I'm passionate about our state and our visitors, and it's not all about the dollars, but it's also about the education of our state. As you saw in our videos, it's history, it's heritage areas, it's arts, it's entertainment, it's the casinos that bring in more money are bringing in more money to the LVT program. So it all comes together, and it's just one big collaborative party.
Absolutely. Quick follow-up to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So your last statement actually leads to my next question. So can businesses do more in marketing and advertising as well to increase the visitors and the marketing for their locations as well? Are they helping out as well? Because we have a lot going on in the state of Maryland and all across different areas. So are they able to help out, or are they helping out?
Absolutely. I will say there's a lot of cooperative programs, and they are, some of the businesses are spending now a disproportionate amount of money to promote themselves because, as you know, there's a hotel tax. And so there is a very good partnership with the tourism development agencies. But if I could go back and answer your last question too. If you think about tourism development, it's also about connecting the dots. And so the Maryland Office of Tourism Development works collaboratively with another destination marketing organization called Capital Region USA, which promotes DC, Virginia, and Maryland. That also then connects to Brand USA, which is our national tourism promotional agency. And if we are not able to be competitive and to push up some of the Maryland tourism stories and programs through those entities, we're losing in the export field, because tourism has traditionally been the #1 service export of the United States, meaning people traveling here are spending money. And so to lose that as an export is very serious. And that has gone down recently, of course, because of COVID, and we need to recover. But the next other thing is, with economic development, this is quality of life. And if you're trying to attract jobs and retain jobs here, the tourism industry and what this office does and what the private sector businesses do help to create a nice place for us to live and work.
Absolutely appreciate
But to answer your question too, sorry, I'm just going to chime in. You got me talking about my passion. But businesses are welcome to. I mean, there are other associations such as myself that are here to help encourage those other chambers and stuff. But it is the power of partnerships. The more that we all work together, the louder our voices, the further that we're reaching out, the more that we're able to bring in.
Absolutely. Makes sense. Appreciate that. Thanks, Vice Chair.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions? Well, with that, I just also want to recognize that our full committee vice chair, Delegate Chang, is here. We always appreciate you being in our subcommittee. And I think with that, our hearing is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.